What's up, beautiful people? It's your girl, Leanne. I'm getting blissed out with a spontaneous connection. The other day, I opened up my LinkedIn. Listeners, friends, anybody who's watching who knows me, I love being spontaneous. And so what I think is really interesting is I've been learning with business in supporting many businesses in the community, in the Heart-Based Community podcast series on joint venture and how we can help the community come together more. This beautiful friend that's on the other side of the camera, Peter, welcome. So Peter Besada had added me on LinkedIn recently, and he's just out there networking in the world. And I looked at his information and I was like, really? And the thing about spontaneity and serendipity and synchronicities is what we're thinking. Are we manifesting it? And so in that moment, I have a close friend of mine, Greg Beering, who's been working on a crazy project, trying to put things together and learning about doing exactly what this kind person, Peter, has put together for himself. But Peter's on a next level, audience. He's on a next level. I looked at his website and there's a lot of juicy and delicious, unbelievable things that he can do with his company to really help serve the community and their businesses, whether it's making websites, whether it's helping them get the clients that they need. There's a whole lot on here. And I just want to get into asking Peter some questions so he can fill in the gap for us as to how this all started. So Peter, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. Pleasure to be here.
Yeah. So in shedding into soul culture, my goal with this, and as I build it, I'm going to have friends who are actually looking for people like you to take this to another level. So the reason why I'm interviewing you is just to get rooted more. But tell us, when did this all start and how did this start for you?
Yeah, so basically, I started doing digital marketing back early 2000s, probably about 2008. At the time, I was working for West Coast Plastic Recycling, actually, and I was the sales manager at the time. This is kind of at the early days of digital marketing, and we wanted to get more coverage and get into people or more people's hands and set up more new business. So basically I taught myself how to make a website, and then it kind of snowballed from there, and then I got into Google marketing, pay-per-click advertising, then I started Unico design after that, and just slowly built from there. But essentially the whole purpose of it was not to just have a website, just to sit there and not do anything, but to have a website that you generate leads from, that you could rely on, because at the time we were doing outside cold calling, mainly business to business, but basically door to door outside sales, which is effective in some industries, and in recycling it is effective. But the idea was to get in front of more people at the right time when they're ready to buy, or ready to get a service, and using Google and other networks to kind of, to bring them to you.
I love it. And you know what's beautiful, audience, because I've been in sales myself since I started like sales when I was 8 years old. And
Wow.
then it was a small company. I just started teaching myself then. But what's interesting about all companies, it's all their sales standards. It's all about the product that they're putting history, feeling, and emphasis on, how they take something from a wholesale level into expanding it into a product on the street. And I feel like there's always this beautiful thing about the authenticity, integrity of being in a moment and feeling really good about something. And I felt really good when I connected with this. So, and that doesn't just come from meeting Peter. This was me being on LinkedIn, fixing my LinkedIn page, seeing that he just added me. But because I've spent the last year with a really close friend who is really hungry for doing something very similar, after watching what Google does for the company that we run and the people I call weekly, and the turnover of using text messages, using computer communication, building my leads, and looking at the success of what Google's doing, Facebook's doing, Instagram's doing, all these different things, and what the reach is, I was like, who is Peter Besada?
Yeah, I'm a nobody, really. I'm not an influencer or anything like that. I'm just a guy with a business that wants to help other businesses grow, really.
And that's the other thing. Okay, so here being a conscious, focused community is where it felt so natural. And you know what? I'll tell you something about being a nobody. That's the whole key of meditation. 30 years of it in the bank. There's nothing more better than serving people for the sake of having a good service that you feel good about sharing. And then not having to focus on our ego. So yes, community, we got the right guy in our corner. That's another win-win for you, Peter. It's a good thing.
I
Your
didn't know my
humility.
recruitment score, but cool.
I'm telling you. Well, because like the reality is, why do we have to have so much? I mean, like I've had the chance to work with radios where we put on people like Tony Robbins, Deepak Chopra, music, international people. I've been helping to build teams to put crowds on to up to 100,000 people. Was it about the ego or was it about the experience? So those two things you got to be really careful with. And so I love the humility that you're talking about, because I'm recreating myself and I'm on the ground right now with knowing my purpose, and things just happen effortlessly because of that and the connection to myself. So I want to get into, we know why you did this now. What are the growth aspects you had to face when you created such a system? Because I think that there's something where you probably had to go behind, figure out this didn't work, that doesn't work, and then you keep growing. There's a lot on your website that I was looking at too, where you
Yeah.
got a lot of opportunities for people to reach many things with their business, right?
Yeah, so we mainly kind of operate as a supplement to your back office. So we do everything from creating PowerPoint decks to making video, creating funnels, LinkedIn prospecting, even grant writing if that's something that you guys need and you don't have the staff to kind of handle that. So we're mainly set up to just kind of supplement, your business as is and take away some of that strain on what you have to do and what your sales team has to do, and just kind of alleviate it and just make it more efficient and have leads coming into your business as opposed to your sales reps going out and trying to chase leads and what have you.
Yeah, so the services: website design, business card, letterhead, logo, custom for creation, Facebook, Instagram. There's a lot in here. Outbound prospecting, answer phone calls, grant application. Grant applications would be really cool for these networks because we got tons of artists, and myself, I looked into doing that before because I've done media and marketing for a long time, and there's a lot of details, but you know how much money and stuff is out there that you can actually help musicians with. I mean, both of my sons are musicians, and the other one's doing kinesiology. So I look at, the reality of,
Just actually.
it's just it's a lot. Grant applications are crazy. Like Music BC, I did 1 year of music myself, and when I was looking into what Music BC has and Factor and all these places, it's just an amazing tool that you have. And I really think, I'm going to put a quote here for people. Make sure you understand, like an application, if you're doing it right and you're doing it at the right time, how that can benefit your journey, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of different grants available, especially in Canada, right? And post COVID and what have you, there's a lot of money available in the digital marketing marketplace for people looking to kind of expand their business. So I would also recommend going out there and seeing what's available to you.
Well, even what about university too? Like, look at how many grants are available everywhere. It's just like, who do you talk to and how do you do it? The door-to-door outside sales, presentation creation, HubSpot setup, and CRMs, prospect list, the prospect list generation, presentation creation, LinkedIn prospecting, book calendar creation, expander video. There's a lot of beautiful things here. I just wanted to make sure that I looked through this and I was like, wow, you really put a lot into this. And the gratitude I had for your work, because I've been doing some of this myself in the last year. I've been playing with making my own website. I got in behind GoDaddy, but they've made it actually really easy now, better than when I was working with other things. Like there's so much out there and they're so competitive. But asking the right people when there's things that you need, when your business is getting to a different level, I think you've got it going on here. And then I see your prices are really in a great comparison as to okay, here's a big thing you got going on here is the AI stuff. Why don't you talk a little bit about the role of AI in digital marketing according to AI itself?
Yeah, I mean, oh yeah. So basically, I got that. I got this is earlier in the days of ChatGPT. I mean, it's still pretty new, but I thought it'd be fun to see what AI or ChatGPT thought about itself, in the digital marketing space. So I had to generate this article, and it thinks pretty highly of itself, and it really should. I mean, as far as AI in marketing goes, you know, there's a lot of things you could do. Like you could basically upload your analytics from, let's say, a Facebook ad or something like that. And with the premium version of ChatGPT, you're allowed plugins. So these plugins, what they'll do, they'll analyze the data sets, and it'll identify which ad sets are working and which ad sets are not. So basically, it takes that time out of your hands, where you would just go manually, you know, kind of analyze it or even plug it into an Excel spreadsheet and run some data points. This kind of takes all that kind of out of it, and just, you know, you kind of just set some criteria, and it just kind of follows through and tells you which ones are good and which ones are bad. Another big one for digital marketers, of course, is content creation, right? Even just like stuff like, you know, writing blogs, writing emails, writing newsletters. You can even do stuff on ChatGPT, like create an event list, right? Like if you're looking for, I have a client that does a lot of like breweries and stuff like that. And we created a digital publication called the Draft Digest. And every month we just go on ChatGPT and I send it to Google and I get it to search all the different beer events in the area. And then it will create a table for me outlining the dates with the name of the event, all in a perfect format where I can just copy and paste that into a newsletter. Basically cut down on tens and hundreds of hours worth of man time that prior to 2022, you know, it would have to take in order to create these sorts of publications.
So the AI is helping. So we do have a lot of different mindsets where, you know, some people feel like, well, is AI going to take over our jobs? You know, like what would be your opinion about the transformation and how it's helping your job help others?
Yeah, I mean, like honestly, it's cut down a digital marketer's workload by like 75%. You know, like, will it take our jobs? Maybe. But the thing with AI is, you know, when it's writing, it's not perfect, right? Like you still have to play around with it. It can't completely do it automatically. Like there has to be some oversight. It's not quite there yet. And when it comes to the specifics, it's definitely not there, you know. So
You still need the human interaction.
it still needs human interaction, you know, but like I said, it reduces our workload heavily, for sure.
Yeah, your website's really nice too. Did you make that yourself?
Yes, of course.
You're
Yes.
doing really great. It's beautiful presentation. What are the downfalls in the process of creating the funnel system?
So, I mean, it's there's not like any venture, you know, we faced our set of challenges. You know, the digital landscape, it's ever changing. So we have to make sure our funnels remain effective amidst these changes. You know, like stuff like Google algorithm changes, which, you know, may drop your Google ranking, as well as educating our clients about the importance of consistent and quality leads, right? We've also spent a lot of money on advertising. So, you know, to see that kind of go through, because there's a lot of testing that goes on with these funnels and ads before you kind of get them to work, you know what I mean? So it's just a lot for sure.
So do you have to, like, your investments come from your, like, it's your main resource at home, your system that goes out to others that are like just filtering? Is that how it works?
So basically we create we create a new funnel for each business that we work with, right? Kind of based on the same technology. So they're all kind of built the same way, but they're all individualized, or you know what I mean? So they're all custom created for each individual business. But they use the same sort of technology. So stuff like you know, email or drip email marketing campaigns, right? So after the lead has been captured, basically an email will go up to our client saying, hey, this person wants to get in touch with you. Here's their phone number. Here's their email address.
Playing from G15.
Sorry. And then what happens is it goes into a marketing or email marketing fund or campaign where it will automatically send out emails at different intervals to the prospects. Meanwhile, the salesperson is reaching out to them to try to convert. And all this gets filtered into CRM like HubSpot. So all the sales activities will be tracked on HubSpot. So everything's kind of integrated together.
Wonderful. What are some of the marketing trends you think that can help serve the community with people who are just building their business as of today?
One of the biggest ones that I think a lot of people are not doing is LinkedIn prospecting.
Mm,
Uh, it's a customized service. You basically you can reach out to over 800 different prospects per month. You could target anything from their profession to their industry to their geographical location, even their job titles. Once you connect with them, you could basically scrape their email addresses off their profile, and then you could push them through an email marketing campaign to try to get them to convert, as well as reach out to them with your sales staff. So yeah, I
yeah.
think LinkedIn it's a good one. I think it's underutilized a lot by industry, but that one's more specifically for B2B. B2C wouldn't really use it, but if you're targeting businesses and you want to get in touch with a specific person in an industry, it's hard to beat. And
So
we
how have your clients, you say, like, I think you have some reviews on your website too. How have your clients benefit from the system and how it's serving them?
Yeah, so basically, I mean, it's the systems, they generate leads for our clients, right? So it essentially enables our sales staff to, instead of going out to and trying to chase leads or create their own leads themselves, we feed them consistent leads that they're able to close deals and generate income. Every business runs on money. That's what a business is, right? So if you're able to convert these people into sales, it takes the time away from your sales reps just basically going out there and cold calling, and it's just a better way.
Mm. And how does the system get added to someone's website then? They just call you and then it's linked to their domain, or how does that work?
Yeah, so our systems are designed to seamlessly integrate with any client system. So if they're using HubSpot CRM or other CRMs, we could definitely link into that. While the system operates on our backend infrastructure, everything will appear coming from the client's domain to ensure it's a consistent brand experience for their users. So it'll look like their brand, it'll link to their domain, but it's all created on our system, which means that they don't actually have to pay for hosting. Our system can actually replace a website.
Wonderful. Well, so it's qualityleadgen.ca. Anything you want to leave here? You got your Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and YouTube accounts that are all out there. Where would you recommend people going to find you?
Yeah, they could go to the website qualityleadgen.ca, or if they want to get a hold of me by email, it's peter@qualityleadgen.ca.
Wonderful. And I'm so glad that you added me because it was wonderful content and inspirational. And I can't wait till the right place and time will come where we will call you and get your services. So I want to thank you for your time, for coming out and sharing with us this wonderful work that you're doing in the community. Hopefully this is inspiring also to my team so that people know that you did it. That's gonna be the joke of the day when I send this out to Greg. But pleasure to meet you online. And in this moment, I wish you the best of luck and hopefully we'll talk soon.
Thanks. You too. Have a good day.
Bye.